Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. This is a daily for Bitcoin, and excuse me, today we're late. Busy a little bit, of course, in some personal stuff. So we're gonna start with the daily here with the channeling. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1 finished, ABC. Wave 2 still, of course, looking for it, and of course we might have different possibility how to achieve to this area, of course, as a target, wave 2, and then pushing for wave 3 towards the upside. Now, of course, as you can see regarding the channeling, the price is still exactly in the place where we're gonna find a lot of resistance, and of course we still struggling here, especially in this area where we have two base channels meeting exactly, of course, or in confluence here together. And we see, of course, the price is still struggling to move up there, knowing that we could break it a little bit. But of course, the new base channel for the downtrend here, of course, has put a lot of pressure. We're going to see, of course, internally, if this is going to be broken, well, that will be a good signal probably for the bulls here, which it might, of course, change the patterns of the bear market here a little bit, from, of course, being impulsive, wave 3, 4, and a 5, and then it might be, of course, something as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an ending diagonal, meaning, of course, up and downs until we reach the target again, of course, in a diagonal shape. And that means, of course, that it is a signal kind of like of a mixed influence here for Bitcoin between the bulls and the bearish. Of course, when we move into diagonal, meaning this trend is becoming, of course, like resisting the downtrend, right? Rather than being impulsive. Yeah, so basically, if in case we get this diagonal there, therefore this is, of course, still the same target, the same bear market, ABC. Despite that, of course, we find some resistance from the bulls there, we might still, of course, reach the same target and push towards the upside later on for wave 3 after finishing this wave 2. Now, let's move to the labels, of course, where we might see the potential targets here between the 67,900 exactly for 1.618, taken from the A to the B to the C, and of course pushing toward the upside. And of course, we're looking here as well at a confluence between the 0.38 FB level, the minimum requirement for wave 2, which is perfect, right? Because this is exactly what we need for Elliott Wave. As of wave 2, minimum requirement to be taken, or at least a little bit in between the 0.5, 0.38, and start to seek, of course, for something for higher. Don't forget, a technical support area here is very strong, of course, and very likely to play a major role, of course, in this reversal from there for Bitcoin for a 200K. So basically, in case this will continue as an impulse, don't forget that we still have a wave 3 unfinished, because the wave 3 is double 1, 2. Inside it, we're going to see it on the 2-hour chart, and then big 4, 5. Still to be unfolding. So this is the main scenario. The second scenario, that it might shift to it in case, of course, we take invalidation here at 99K 670. And of course, another possibility is a wave 2 here in diagonal, and a big, of course, ending diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And that means, of course, it might be an ABC there for, of course, 1.618, the same target as before, the same area, of course, below the 0.38, and of course around this strong area as a support. So nothing has changed, but only, of course, the resistance here, that it forms, of course, an ending diagonal, meaning, of course, a strong reversal for Bitcoin might come there, even much more higher in possibility in case we get diagonal. Now, the final one that we might have is bullish. Of course, we always have both a push towards the upside or toward the downside. And currently, Bitcoin still has a chance, of course, here as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal, wave 1, wave 2. Perfect target so far in wave 2, and we start to see a resistance not taking the 886, which is also a good signal, I would say, that Bitcoin did not reach the 886, like increasing, let's say, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's still playing as a good impulse, I would say. And you might still see here potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal. It can be also something like still sideways, It can be something like sideways, A, B, C, D, E, but this, of course, a little bit complicated. I don't like to dive so much into it so far. Because of course I believe that much more expanding flat here to be broken or to be, how to say, invalidated, then I start to go to sideways. So priority is for the expanding flat, and that's why I don't push so many scenarios, guys, here to not confuse you. Basically, I'm looking here, therefore, in a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning your impulse or the bull run might not be finished yet, and it might be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 ending diagonal or impulse. All right. In this case, if the impulse happens, well, it's very likely to transform this to double 1, 2. Then this is your wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So kind of like fractal, right? Becoming fractal on the daily here for Bitcoin. But yeah, we're gonna take it step by step. The micro level are going to lead us, right? Always in such a situation. So for the 2 hour chart here, of course, let me explain the impulse one, of course, where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, WXNOY wave 2, and of course followed by double 1, 2. The wave 3 is given. Currently, if you are in a wave 4, this wave 4 is not allowed to interfere with the zone 199K 150. And that means, of course, in case that you are here in an A, B, and a C, which it might be, of course, very likely A, B, and a C, this wave C is still, of course, looking for a little bit higher here prices to finish up probably in ending diagonal in the blue box. Of course, this is a possibility there for a wave 4. Don't forget it. We might drop down, right? We might continue the drop for Bitcoin. Now, in case, of course, that the things will stop there as well before reaching the 1-to-1 fib level here at 96K 800 or 97K. That means, of course, the possibility opens, still open, especially in this blue box, only one wave 5, somehow like that. It opens the diagonal. Okay, it opens the scenario for a diagonal, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, leading diagonal that it might be unfolding there. And that means, of course, it can be a wave A or it can be a wave 1. And both will seek for higher. Now, what is different is an ABC will bring you the diagonal, the big diagonal that we talk about it on the daily, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But if we break the diagonal fib levels and we continue for higher, well, it brings us, of course, the bullish scenario, which we talked about it on the daily, where you might have a wave 2 here, and then you push for a wave 3 toward the upside. So this is, of course, what we're looking for Bitcoin on the micro level to lead us for the macro, of course. And we're going to see, of course, exactly what's going to happen over there. Now, currently, if we dive a little bit 15-minute chart as well, we can see after this top here, for Bitcoin as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You're still looking for a wave 4 probably here. It might be 3 ways down, 3 ways up. And of course, you're looking here for a potential wave 4, maybe as an expanding flat, of course, can be a possible scenario. Or it can be something as a running flat here, a running triangle, A, B, C, D, and an E, and then pushing for higher. So 2 possibilities might unfold here, unless, of course, also, I mean, if the price is going to keep dropping, that one of them is A, B, and a C. Of course, new low there for a wave 4, probably 91K. Or you are in a triangle, right? And then pushing higher. Unless, of course, if we push a high, like push higher without taking this low and stay, of course, within the diagonal there, you might still be in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside, and currently still the priority here and still playing a high possibility as, of course, wave 5 to be finished there in the blue box, which, of course, gives a possibility for a wave 3 in diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, unless we're gonna see a massive push taking the 96K here, meaning invalidation of diagonal, because this is not allowed to have wave 3 longer than the wave 1. And then we get, of course, simply ABC. Yeah, and then probably dropping down. But if we break it, well, this is totally different, of course. But I doubt it, guys, that we're gonna break it because you have 3 waves over there, 3 waves, and you continue for higher there. So yeah, very likely to drop down from there, guys. So we're gonna be careful with Bitcoin. Currently on the micro, on 15-minute chart, I'm still looking for one more high, at least the blue box, 95k 200 and 93k 900, or even above it. Yeah. For KGT on the 3-minute chart here, we are looking at a strong selling signal. We see some pressure, of course. Now, of course, if you want to take this previous bearish signal within the price, we're not, of course, in a strong bearish one. So basically, it's still something to not take the low yet. And that means, of course, we might still corrective. And we might, of course, get higher prices until we get, of course, a new bearish signal there that it might be in convergence, meaning downside both the price and, of course, the CVD line over there. To dive much more deeper inside it, you can see also that currently we have also a strong bullish signal. Now, it's still not in divergence, which preferably to be, meaning if we push for lower here, and the CVD line take the low there, that might create, of course, a strong divergence for the bullish. But we gotta be careful, of course, if we get invalidation there, meaning if the signal there stays, of course, above, or the price takes the low there. Let's make it simple. If the price takes the low there, that is an invalidation. So we gotta be careful with it, of course. But I believe, yeah, in case this happens, don't forget the ABC. Yeah, it might be a little bit deeper ABC, meaning by taking the low there, yes, we might dive a little bit deeper, but it might find strength again and pushing for higher. Yep, so this is regarding the indicator. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.